You can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Shara Magomedov takes on Michael Venom Page this Saturday as the co-main event of UFC Fight Night Saudi Arabia. And this is what you might call a striker's delight in the middleweight division. Shara Magomedov, fighting out of Russia, 15-0, continues to take steps up in competition, in my opinion. Came into the UFC fighting Bruno Silva, won by decision. Knocks out Antonio Tricoli by left hook. Tricoli's kind of garbage, as we saw in his last fight with Tresean Gore. Beats Mikhail Olachechek, which is a good win. Olachechek's a tough dude. And then double spinning back fist over Armin Petrosian in a very competitive fight up to that point. So wouldn't say that I'm completely sold by Shara Magomedov just yet. Has a lot of wins, good record, but kind of a sketchy record if you look at it. Some good wins, some not so good wins, some modified rules, MMA. Somehow that contributes to his 15-0 record. I don't know how that works, but seems kind of sketchy. Michael Venom Page, dude's been around for a long time, very exciting fighter. A lot of highlight reel knockouts, including one where he put the dent in that dude's head. Who was that? What was his name? Evangelista Santos, the flying knee, put a legit dent in the dude's skull. So, been around Bellator for a long time. Very good karate type striker. Very good range, very good wide stance, zips in and out, throwing his punches. Very powerful, very quick. Fought a friend of mine back in the day in Bellator, so I've been pretty high on this guy. I've been following him for a long time. Excited to see him finally make his jump to the UFC. Did a little foray into, the bare knuckle boxing type thing. I'm glad he didn't stay there because I feel like he's got a lot of talent. Still got a lot to give in the UFC and MMA in general, even though he is 37 years oold. But 6'3", 79-inch reach versus Shara Magomedov, who is 30 years old, 6'2", 73-inch reach. So Michael Page is going to be going into this fight with a 6-inch reach advantage. One thing to note is he is moving up. Normally fights at 170, very big for that weight class, very rangy, moving up to middleweight. Still going to have a 6-inch reach against Shara Magomedov, who I think should probably drop down to middleweight. Not the most cut up dude at middleweight, 6'2". I feel like he could make it down to 170 and be a pretty good force there, but I feel like the skill level is less at middleweight, so maybe that's why he stays there. But not sure how I feel about this move up. MVP, coming off of a loss, 37 years old. How much does he still have in him? How serious is he still taking his career? It's hard to say when you see these guys just start taking these kind of fun fights. How about you just win? Winning's fun. Making more money is fun. Fighting for the belt is fun. So, and I feel like he could at some point if he sticks to it. But I'm not sure how I feel about that. Taking these one-off fights at a weight class that you're not planning to stay at. Like, what's the point in terms of ranking and resume and reputation in a weight class? Like, it doesn't really do much for you. So, not sure why, but it's a good fight. So I'm not gonna complain. Just don't really understand it. But Shara Magomedov, very good with his kicks, very good striker. Haven't seen a lot of his wrestling. Coming from Russia, having a last name ending with Medov, you would assume that he's got decent ground game, but we really haven't seen it. But likes to counter strike, does very well when guys kind of stand in front of him, where he can kind of stand in the pocket and counter with them. Throws very good kicks, wheel kicks, side kicks, leg kicks. Michael Venom Page got small little legs on him, so the low calf kick is kind of a concern for me. I just don't know if he's going to be standing in front of Shara long enough for him to land those kicks. So I think Michael Venom Page, with his style, I think that he's going to have that in and out style. He's not going to be standing in front of Magomedov waiting for counters. He's going to be, zipping in, throwing his punches, throwing his kicks. I just don't think he's going to be there for Magomedov to hit. I think he's going to be frustrating Magomedov, who's going to be looking to counter. But I think that Venom, he's going to be too quick in and out to where Shara Magomedov, he's going to be, kind of covering, looking to dodge the punch, and then Venom Page is going to be out of there before he can counter. So we saw in Magomedov's fights with Olachechek, guys just like push forward against him and just give him a lot of pressure and try to land on him. And he's very good with his distance management. He's very good at evading punches and landing his strikes, his counters. So saw that with Lechechek, saw that with Petrosian. I just don't see Michael Venom Page doing that. You know, we saw him in his fight against Kevin Holland, was able to just kind of leap in and land his strikes and really hurt Kevin Holland, kind of just embarrass the guy, which is pretty prime for the course lately with Kevin Holland. I feel like he shows up for humiliation rituals in the UFC as of late. But then he fights Ian Machado Gary. Ian Gary was not the better striker in that fight. MVP was. I think you could argue that MVP won that fight. He did get taken down several times by Ian Gary, but Ian Gary didn't really do much with it. So somebody like Ian Gary, who's a very good striker, very good kicker, kind of the same style as Magomedov, maybe a little bit more punch heavy than Magomedov, who throws a lot of kicks, but you can see how much MVP was able to frustrate somebody like Ian Gary and cause him to shoot for takedowns. I don't think that Magomedov is going to shoot for takedowns. I think he's known for his flashy striking style. I don't think he's the type of guy who's going to abandon that for the win. I think he's going to try and stand and prove a point. I just don't think he's going to be able to land enough punches on MVP to hurt him or to steal a round. So only times we've ever seen MVP lose is when he gets out grappled. Again, like I said, we haven't seen MVP's grappling, so to speak, just yet, but makes me think that he doesn't use it because he doesn't really have it. But sorry, and he did lose to Douglas Lima, but that was due to leg kick uppercut. But besides that, grappling's been his Achilles heel. So when he gets these favorable strikeout matchups against guys like Kevin Holland or these guys in Bellator who just don't want to shoot, they want to stand, they just get very frustrated and they kind of get outpointed for the most part. So I know MVP's going up in weight, but I think they're still going to be pretty evens in terms of mass, just because I feel like Shara Magomedov doesn't cut that much weight. So gonna go with MVP in this one. I think he could hurt Shara Magomedov. We haven't seen him get caught yet. I feel like in the Petrosian fight we saw him get hurt a little bit, but I think we'll probably see a decision in this one. I think it's going to be kind of like MVP versus Ian Gary, where he's just frustrating him the entire time on the feet, not letting him get any of his offense going, not letting him get his rhythm, his counter strike going. So I think MVP probably takes this one. Probably 2-1. Maybe he drops around, but I really do see a 3-0 sweep by MVP, just getting off on his shots and his flow early against somebody like Shara Magomedov. But concern is, Shara Magomedov, you could see the judges giving him the decision just because of it being in Saudi Arabia and co-main event, and I feel like we see a lot of weird scorecards when we go over there for the fighter that you would assume that they want to win, if you know what I mean. But I feel like Michael Venom Page, even if it is close, I think he'll still get the win in this one. If he can keep it on the feet, I don't see a lot of guys that are going to be willing to, that aren't going to be willing to stand in there and take the damage that they're going to need to take in order to land on him. And I feel like he's such a good technical striker with such a speed, distance management advantage over these guys that not anybody really ever gets any volume or offense going on him to really win rounds. So he can hit you, or he can hit you from a lot further away than you can hit him, just because of his lunging style. And I feel like Shara Magomedov, he doesn't have the speed and the technique to counter that, or to get into range with Michael Venom Page without being hit first, because he is more of a counter striker. I just don't think he's going to be quick enough to counter Venom Page, who comes in very quick and very unorthodox. You don't really know what he's going to throw. You don't know if he's going to, throw a step in like teep kick, leg kicks. He's going to throw one punch, two punch. He is more of like a single punch striker, but he does it so quickly and so like out of the blue, you don't really know what's coming, that he lands very effectively. So I think that he'll win this one by decision. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks.